That was fun, man. Did you total it up?
I think it was 70.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your best round out here?
66.
Yeah. Curt, best round?
Disgusting. That is disgusting.
Best round.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
Okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple.
All right, everybody. Adam here with Just the Tips and a very special episode of Who's Your Greenskeeper. We're here at Tot Hill Farm and our home away from home, one of our very most favorite Strantz courses. And, you know, one of the things is the guys who keep these places up and running are our heroes. They, you know, the day in and day out. And we got a special one for you today. I'm here with Curt, the head greenskeeper. And absolutely, is greenskeeper or superintendent?
Superintendent.
Superintendent.
Yeah,
What's the difference between a superintendent and a greenskeeper?
Not much.
Not much.
No.
A formal title. It's not like doctor and mister.
No. Well, no. I think if you're doing it the right way, it's a superintendent.
Yep.
I think that kind of old school is a greenskeeper.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have an assistant superintendent.
Correct.
And that's Brock. Brock, a pleasure,
Yes,
guys. Guys, I really appreciate you spending time with us today. Mike and I, we nerd out on these Mike Strantz courses. What got you excited? Why did you want to do this?
I started playing golf at a young age. My dad had me out chasing a golf ball around when I was 10 years old. And then I just did it as summer jobs when I was in high school and college. So didn't know that it was an actual career. And there was a lot of opportunity on kind of where you could go. I mean, gosh, you could work out in Southern California, or you could go to Ireland and work on a golf. I mean, there's golf courses everywhere, so it could take you anywhere you wanted to go. So that kind of attracted me too. So I guess golf was just kind of my life from when I was a kid. So I just continued. I wanted to stay in sports, and what a great opportunity to stay in sports and stay in golf. So chose this side of it.
Yeah. So where are you from originally?
Central Ohio.
Central Ohio. Oh, same as Mike Strantz, right? He was an Ohio guy too.
Yeah, not far.
So where'd you start your career?
I guess bounced around some Central Ohio courses when I was a kid. And then my first kind of big golf course was the Ocean Course at Kiowa. Did an internship there when I was in school. Loved South Carolina, loved Charleston. Ended up spending almost 20 years in Charleston. Worked at a couple courses on Kiowa, a couple more courses on the coast, and then got this opportunity to come up here.
There you go. What's the grass at Kiowa, Mike? So Mike was a caddy down there for years, and it's a special type of grass that's only available at the Ocean Course, right?
It was, and then it's kind of take hold on the coast. It's a very salt tolerant grass called Seashore Paspalum.
There it is.
Yeah, so it does real well. Salt tolerant. You know, if you have real salty water, or in their case, you know, a lot of salt spray from the ocean, it can handle the salt better than most grasses. So it's kind of taken off down the coast. A lot of Florida places have it. Hawaii, you know, coastal areas.
But you have the opportunity to come to Tot Hill in what was that, 2023?
Yeah, October of 23.
Yep. So right after the renovation, kind of famously, Mike Strantz built the course. A company owned it, and then the company kind of went bankrupt. They owned several of the courses in the area. It got up overgrown, and then there was a major renovation by the new ownership. And then, are you the first superintendent of the course in the post renovation?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But we also got Brock with us now. Brock, as assistant superintendent, you're newer to the course, a couple of months here. How did you end up at Tot Hill?
Well, I grew up playing out here. I'm from a town just about 30 minutes away. So I grew up playing out here, and then me and my wife owned the lot in Tot Hill, so we wanted to come out here eventually. And then just worked out I was in the business, and he needed a job and saw the job posted, and I tried out. So
there's an immediate problem here. You're the best golfer I've played with in a very long time. You're so good on the golf side. Career in the pro shop didn't appeal to you?
No, it did not. You could not pay me enough to get in a pro shop. Well, I was in the coaching side of golf there for right before I took into the maintenance, and I was college coaching in the afternoon, and I needed a morning job, and one of my friends got me a job just being a laborer, and I was really proud of the calluses on my hands and taking care. It was a Ross course, so I really enjoyed going to work every day and making that shine as best as I could. I had a lot to learn, that's for sure. But yeah, I was really proud of what we did to make a course look good, and that's how it just kind of fell into it.
It's a pride of performance, and that's something that you find at everybody that works here at Tot Hill. So, like I said, we'll catch back up with these guys. We're on number 3, and as you know, every Mike Strantz course on the East Coast, the third hole is a par 3. This one's called the Rock. From the black tees from the backs where the champions play. It's playing 160 today, but this thing from the alternate tee boxes or the back could play 230 yards. We actually got a little lucky today. Let's see how we do. All right, guys, so we're here at number 5. The name of the hole is Eagle, although I'm going to rename it Triple Bogey. One of the gettable par 5s out here in the Mike Strantz collection, and that's what this video is about, is Mike Strantz. And, you know, when we play these courses, you can't help but think about the guys who maintain them. You know, when you have a hole like this with this big, giant 2-tier green, do you have to wear a seatbelt when you mow the green?
You probably should. Yeah, there's some hairy turns. It gets pretty tight when you come off the green and want to turn around and make your next line. You have to be pretty cautious and aware of what you're doing and aware of your surroundings.
So, not to get too far in the weeds, but I hear you're a stickler for a 3-point turn as opposed to a U-turn.
Absolutely.
First off, what's the advantage to that?
Well, one, for those tight turns so you don't just fall off a cliff into a creek. And then the other is if you do a real tight U-turn, the tire will spin on the turf and it can tear up some grass. And if you do a 3-point, you less tearing on the turn. So
Mike Strantz, you know, we've said it on this channel before, is this he designs things with an artist's eye. I mean, his pencil drawings are literal works of art. And then he came out with Mike Jones and the other shapers and said, I can see it. Now you guys make it happen. And then they left. And then they left this to you to maintain for all time. When you think about, you know, especially Tot Hill Farm, but most Mike Strantz courses, what's the biggest challenge in maintaining these?
You almost have to be as creative as he was with how you do it. Kind of an outside-the-box approach to golf course maintenance. You know, I've worked traditional country clubs where everything's just kind of flat and in front of you. And this takes a different approach on just about every aspect of golf course maintenance. You have to be willing to adjust to different things. You have to realize that what works another place isn't going to work here, and then you have to come up with a different solution.
You know, Brock, you haven't been here very long, but you've been in the industry. What was your biggest surprise coming to Tot Hill Farm?
At how organized we have to be to take care of this place. You know, you can't just come out and just do everything the same. You've got to, and there's so much that we have to take care of that you got to break it down. And we're constantly, somebody is spraying or working in certain natural areas or rock areas, and then you're just your basic fairways and rough. But you got to be very organized in how you're going to dissect this golf course and keep it looking nice.
So one of the things about a Strantz course too is, and thankfully for me, because I spray the ball all over the place, he's got these extra wide fairways. It seems like the comfort lane from Seinfeld. You know?
Isn't that some kind of safety thing?
No, I had to pull them up if I'm going to widen the lanes.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know how in planes they got first class? More leg room, better ride? Well, I'm bringing that concept to mile 114.
How are you going to widen the lanes?
But a lot of them also have collection areas. So a good example was we were just on number 4, and if you hit it left or right, it kind of funnels back into the middle. But some of these collection areas, you guys get a lot of play here. So a lot of players all end up in the same spot. What's the challenge of maintaining that?
It's seasonal. So this time of year when everything's kind of recovering, you can put a divot mix into a divot and it'll heal up in a week or so. So you get kind of that recovery. Shoulder seasons, there's less recovery. And then, you know, when we, in the wintertime, we go dormant, there's zero recovery. So you have to be diligent about top dressing divots and and hope that the golfer also, fills their divot with sand or, fixes their own divot too.
Listen, we're going to keep talking to these guys, but I got a hole to go triple bogey. So here we are on number 7. This is a hole called Deer Tracks. Now, Brock, you grew up playing this course as a kid, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were just saying, we're on the back black tee, and this wasn't here when you were a kid, right?
Well, the tee was here, but the cart path and the restroom wasn't here, and it was woods and gravel cul-de-sac. And there used to be a deer stands up in the trees back here that were old, and the old wooden. I'm an amateur hunter, but the old wooden deer stands, you could tell that were the good spots in the back in the day.
So guys, part of our continuing series with the 10 Commandments of Golf is maintaining the golf course, is leaving it better than you found it. And, here we are with 2 top professionals when it comes to golf course maintenance. Just want to ask you guys, what are things that you guys see that you'd like to see the players or the public either do or know more about or stop doing?
I guess, so the single first thing out in the morning, the first tee time as a single, you lose a lot of rights because you're chasing us down all the time, and it's hard for us to stay. We accomplish the most we're going to accomplish in the first 4 hours of the day before any golfers are out there. And a single can usually play in 2.5, 3 hours, maybe even more than that. So they're chasing us down, which slows us down. So that makes it more difficult for us to accomplish tasks.
They must teach in like superintendent school, like, when the golfers are coming out, you shut down the machine or you move it to the side. Right. And the players are the ones that are paying the money to be out here. But if they're not allowing our superintendents, our workforce to do the job, it's just taking either longer or they're not getting it done. See, I never thought about that. So that's a good one. If you're the first players out and you're zipping around, freaking pump the brakes there, kid.
If someone comes up to you and says, do you mind playing through, that's fine. And if you're okay with that, go ahead and skip 2 holes ahead or something and just keep going. But you're going to be playing on uncut greens, maybe pins that weren't changed, so on and so forth with certain things. Yeah, and we all know those players that they can't wait to get out there. They want to be done by and back to the house by 8 o'clock in the morning. But like I said, you got to give our guys out there the chance to get this done. Brock, for yourself, one thing that you think that people should do or they want to know or something you'd like to see them stop doing?
It seems like it's a trendy thing for people to say, hey guys, it's cart path only, or please don't drive here. Like, I'll just stay in the rough. Like, that's a thing. And usually the rough is up on a hill, and that's usually where it gets dry and compacted faster. And so we want them riding in wet areas, but we definitely don't want them riding in the same spots all the time. We're just breaking the cart rule.
That's funny. That's not something that I think about is, when you're saying cart path only, it's not just for wet spots, but it could be for heavily used spots or dry spots. All right. Curt, something else?
And then kind of along the same lines is where you drive, like, if it's a wet day, if we just got some rain, then obviously the low spots are going to be a little more wet. So try to avoid those and go into the high areas. Yeah. And it seems, golf course traffic is almost like sheep. Everybody just follows the same lines and just keep going the same directions. And that compacts the ground and makes it hard for the grass to grow. And it creates unsightly areas, that just don't look lush and green.
We're lucky here at Tot Hill. We got the geo-fencing and we're keeping people out of the area, but a lot of courses don't have that. It's that people are simply driving the carts too fast. And next thing they know, they find themselves in a wetter, spongy area or somewhere they're not supposed to be. About anything else?
The one side of the golf cart off the cart path, like it saved them 2 steps, and they just ruined the curb side of the cart path.
That is funny. We talk about that all the time, that when people get in golf carts, they all of a sudden think they're in a wheelchair. Like I said, they got to drive it up onto the fringe and stuff like that. Like, you just saved a 200-yard walk. You can walk the last 30.
Replacing divots. You replace divots here, or you fill them with sand?
We sand the divots. We have Bermuda grass fairways, so the sand is like a little growing medium for them to just kind of patch in on themselves. So you don't need to replace them. Just throw some sand out, and there is a proper way to do that. If you just dump a pile of sand on a divot and it's this high, that mower is going to come through and hit a pile of sand and it's going to dull it out. So if you can smooth it out, just take your foot, go across it, smooth it out, so when that mower comes through, it doesn't hit any sand.
Very nice. So we're going to make up some t-shirts, and we're trying to normalize the fact that the golf gods will not allow you to make a birdie putt unless you fix 2 ball marks first. Can we get behind that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Like I said, we'll take good care of the course, but coming to you with the guys from Tot Hill, the things that, again, even the stuff I didn't know, things that we want you to do better, be more conscientious about, it helps everybody out in the end. All right, fellas, you're both excellent players. There's no doubt about that. So your opinion about the course and its playability. Brock, for yourself, what do you think the hardest hole on the course is?
I think we're here at number 9.
Why do you think number 9 is the hardest?
You got a second shot that's basically a blind shot to a 2-tiered green with a false front. And so people don't usually take enough club up to that uphill shot, and then you can get really penalized around the green.
Gotcha.
There's a couple of holes that have really difficult second shots. I think the second shot on 10 can be difficult, and 14. But this one, I think, is by far the hardest hole.
So the second shot in the 10, it's like a turtleback. It's really, really difficult. You can throw the ball down so far where it's hard to get it on the putting surface, let alone up and down for birdie. The term around the water cooler is getting strantzed, where the course design leads you down a path that allows you to take a big number. You ever been strantzed?
Absolutely. On this hole, I used to hit 3-wood, thinking I was playing smart and laying it down. I'd either be in jail behind the 2 trees on the left, and then I'd try to hit some, hero shot, which end up short, and it would roll 100 yards down. And so now I just hit driver and hope for the best.
There you go. You ever been strantzed?
I've been strantzed. Usually my strengths are being ricocheted off of just barely being off and then getting, hitting the rocks and going different places. Sometimes I can actually help you. I've seen it to where it's ricocheted into the creek and then back out of a creek. So
we're still waiting for that for Mike. I got to be honest with you. All right, guys, let's play what many people consider to be the hardest hole at Tot Hill Farm. Better angle in from there. Check it out.
Perfect.
That's what I was trying to do on 1, 2, 4, 6.
Yeah.
Why are you so good at golf? God. Shoot. It's like point and click, dude. Jeez. That's super impressive. Alrighty.
That's cool. That's a cool tee shot.
So here we go, guys. Closest to the pin contest. You got Curt out of the woods. You got Mike over here out of the rough. Got to be on the green. This is what they're aiming at. Over the water, rock wall, thin green. Who's up first? There would be no closest to the pin that day, as neither Mike nor Curt were able to hit the green. But that's okay. Number 12 is a really tough hole anyway, and it's so much fun to play. I mean, that peninsula green is absolutely ridiculous. This is actually Adam's second shot. Hit it in the water the first time, but had a little knockdown wedge into the green. Felt pretty good about that. The story, though, guys, that we want to tell here is we had an absolute blast with Curt and Brock. The Just the Tips guys were sorely outmatched by these two guys who, by the way, busted their butt all week. This was Friday. They came out right off the course from working on the course to play us. Brock ends up going out and he hit every green on the course with the exception of number 11. He shot a couple under par, but he's an absolute brilliant player. But Curt's no slouch in his own right. Curt's an excellent player himself. He carries a 6 handicap, and again, gets himself around the course really nice. Bottom line, though, guys, we had a really, really, really nice time with Curt and Brock at Tot Hill Farm. It's a pleasure. They're one of the toughest playing duos of green superintendent / assistant superintendent. And some of the information they gave us about the course was absolutely incredible. As a matter of fact, after 12, we played Strantz's backyard, got some information about that. Brock and Curt showed us an alternate tee to 14, which I actually think is in some guy's backyard technically, but it really, really stretches out the hole and makes for an incredible day. They talked about the history of the course, about what it was when Brock was a kid, and I got a chance to live there as a little boy, and now has returned with him and his family to once again live in the greater Asheboro area. So again, we had a blast. We had such a good time. These guys were spectacular. This isn't our traditional podcast, but when you get a chance to interview two men that are part of a team that keep the Strantz courses together, I think we had a very, very special day.
All right, guys, Mike from Just the Tips. I'm stepping in for Adam. Listen, we got a couple more questions to ask these guys before we send them on their way. We just enjoyed 18 holes out here. It was a blast. We had so much fun. I'm going to say, you know, I watch you guys out here while you're playing, trying to kind of enjoy some downtime. Do you guys ever get to enjoy a round without actually doing some work? Because some of the stuff I saw you guys doing out here, which is awesome, I love to see it, but, you know, can you come out here and just enjoy it?
No, it's always good to come play the golf course because, I mean, you can come out every day and look at the problems and know what you need to maintain, but until you play it, you know, you don't really know from a golfer's aspect what you need to do or what you're doing well and what you're doing, you know, not so well or right or wrong or whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's good to do it. Sometimes I have to force myself to do it because I am just looking at problems, but yeah, it's a good practice to come play your own golf course. I prefer playing other people's golf courses because I like to see what they're doing, good ideas and everything, but it is very helpful to come out and play.
Yeah, but, you know, I saw you guys out here. We're out here, you know, you're putting, you're chipping, and I see you kind of, you know, kind of waiting and checking out, like, sprinkler heads and pulling weeds and stuff like that. You know, do you guys ever just kind of turn it off?
If you're playing for something, I can try to switch it on and off, but it gets difficult. I mean, I'm standing around the putts or around the greens, and while either y'all are putting, pulling weeds or around some certain spots, or
Still making birdies though.
Looking at you know, cuts and different things like that. But yeah, it's tough. Eventually, it's very tough. Yeah. Even on other people's golf courses, sometimes it can be very tough to just, why did they do this here, or what are they doing, or this looks terrific, we need to do this. You know, that type of stuff. Right.
You know, and I remember I worked at a golf course too, and everyone's like, "Oh, it must be nice, right? You get to play all the golf." It's like, the last thing you really want to do is spend another 5 hours out here. But, you know, listen, we had a blast with you guys. You guys hit the ball great. If there was anything that you want to tell people about Tot Hill Farm that they might not know, or maybe just kind of remind them, what would it be?
I think you need to play it twice. I think you'll enjoy it the first time. You'll get lost. You won't know where to hit it, and then you'll come up and you'll see some blind shots, certain areas that you're like, I didn't know that was there. And you'll come out the second time, and I guarantee you'll play better the second time. Just knowing where to go, knowing the lay of the land, kind of how the golf course works.
Knowing where not to be.
Where not to be, where to be, and where not to be. But definitely play it twice. Third time, whatever, keep coming out, whatever it is. But the more you play it, the easier the golf course gets.
Yeah, being around here, there's a lot of the locals either love it or hate it because it's a placement golf course. But what drove me and my dad especially to be out here and want to keep coming back was how different it was. There's nothing really traditional about it, but with it being so curvy and so much stuff, it's still very wide, and so it's still very playable, and it's still very fun to play. And so, you know, that's why we just kept coming out, was because there was nothing else like it, close by.
Yeah, and, you know, me and Adam talked about it the first time we played this place. We were like, dude, this is like Disney World. Like Mike Strantz was Walt Disney designing golf courses that's like Disneyland, right? They always try to like immerse you into the ride, and I feel like he did that here. Is he's like immersing you into the lay of the land here, and it's just every hole is just an experience, which is really cool. So, guys, listen, we had a blast out here. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun, and can't wait to do it again.
Yep.
All right,
Thanks.
just the tips.
Mike-
You can't even go fast once you get on the island.
Mike said he got caught in a UN motorcade one time with
Oh,
his
yeah.
Toyota.
There was the Prince of Jordan was there
Yep.
at Sanctuary.
Yep.
And like 2 black SUVs roll out. Then I got this little shitty Honda Accord, and then 2 more. And I'm like, I think I'm going to die.
So Bush Jr. came one time, and he helicoptered
I
in.
was there for that.
And
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of the guys come out to the course, and they threw white jumpsuits on to kind of blend in.
Yeah.
And we had to wash our own carts. So these guys, and we knew they were Secret Service, and they just roll and put the carts there. I'm like, yo, you guys going to clean your own cart? I thought I was going to get shot in the face. There was like no laugh, no nothing.